This is an updated video lesson for my Easy Classical Guitar Vol.1 book. There's a link for that underneath the video, but you can watch the lesson for free and pick up any tips. You might know this piece by Giuliani. It's from his Op.50, it's number 1, and the title Andantino. So this is a great teaching piece, partly because the first half and the second half are essentially just variations, right? So the first half outlines a basic melody and theme. And then in the second half, he just makes a rhythmic variation on that. So that theme is always present. So it's kind of nice. As you learn the first part of the piece, you'll learn all the chord shapes and all the left hand shapes and everything like that. And then on the second half of the piece, the right hand becomes a little bit more active. So it's really great practice in that way. So first thing, you can always practice the melody on its own, right? Whenever you're learning a new piece, that's always a great idea. Just to get the phrasing really nice, the way you want it. And then you can add the other notes in, but try to keep the quality of that phrasing up nice and high, just as high as when you played it alone. This is very much a generalization, but in terms of the shaping in this piece, when the notes are going up, then you can crescendo a little bit. When they're going down, you can decrescendo a little bit. Looking for the arch of the phrase as well. So near the end of the 4-bar phrase, you just want to taper off. So ease into the phrase, grow, and then taper off. So a lot of growth when it really rises there. But then, because it's the end of the phrase, just really taper it off. And then you start the next one. So just lots of shaping within the phrase. So I'm using my thumb for all the down stem notes in this section. You could use your fingers as well. Like here, some people probably use I am. But just for simplicity, I'm keeping the thumb in the bass voice the whole time. And then alternating I am on the top. Just to keep it super simple. There are some quarter note rests in there, so if you want, you can put your right hand fingers back on the strings to stop them from vibrating. But whenever I mute any notes, I usually mute with the left hand as well, just to kind of make sure that I stop the sound. You can leave the rests out and just let it sustain if you like, but if you do clean up those rests, it does have kind of a nice effect. But either way, if you're more on the beginner side, just don't worry about the muting for now. If you're a little bit more advanced, then you can work on muting those rests. There's a number of times in this piece when the first finger has to kind of jump over to other strings, but I wouldn't worry about it too much. It's not too fast in this piece, and instead of like throwing in the second finger all the time, I think just keep it nice and straightforward. This is an easy kind of level piece, so students can just stay in position, have a good hand position, and follow the fingerings. So the second half of the piece, pretty much the same experience, just you're going to be alternating I am a lot on those accompaniment notes. And when you do, just try to bring out that melody note and not let any of those notes, those accompaniment notes, interfere. So just nice and soft on the inner voice. Sorry. And then, when you have a higher string, you can use the A finger. these kind of cadences here, just like thumb, A, M, I, thumb. Just let everything sustain nicely, right? I like to hold these two notes, so therefore I use my third finger on the A there. I think that's an important point. You can lift it afterwards. There is a rest there, so you could switch 3, but I think it's worth it using the third finger. You could use 2, sorry, but I think it's worth it using the third finger on the A. So like here, that's not great to go 1 and then 1 again, but you kind of run into troubles if you do like 2, 3. You can just follow the fingerings, and I would keep it with 1, 2. If you wanted there to change it, you could switch the second finger up and use the third finger on the A, but I wouldn't worry about it. So final or last line in the notation version. That's also a tricky one because if you use the third finger there, then you have to switch 3 to the bass. But I think it can be finessed. And you're slowing down a little bit near the end. I think that helps as well. If you wanted, you could do something else. You could use 2 on the F and then switch 3 up. If I was like recording the piece, I might consider doing that. But because it's just an easy little piece, I wouldn't worry about it. So just follow the fingering there. Add a little bit of a writ at the end just to kind of slow it down a bit. Really nice piece. I've been meaning to do updated video lessons for this book because I have the Volume 2 book coming out soon. So I'll be updating the rest of the pieces. This is kind of a classical era work. There'll be some more classical and romantic ones that I'll be doing as well. But you can check out the other Renaissance and Baroque ones that I've done previously.